The Noob. The Noobs are the freshest players in the fog. There are two types of Noob survivors. The first one is the Noob that started playing because they thought the game looked cool. These survivors will still play as if the game was a horror hide and seek, so they will crouch walk everywhere around the map, and they are also the only survivors that use lockers to hide from the killer, and no matter what, they will always attempt to escape from the hooks. The other type of Noob is the one that joined the game because someone else recommended it to them. These players are clueless in a match and will die extremely fast no matter how much their friends try to save them. However, unlike the other type of Noob, they will not try to escape out of the hooks because their pro friends told them not to. The Pro. These survivors are the survivors you wish you got while playing as a solo. They will do generators as much as they can, they will save pallets when needed and take hits or body block when necessary. The funny thing is that the majority of solo survivors thinks they are the pro and above average, but if the majority of solo survivors say they are above average, why is the solo survivor experience so miserable? The Toxic. These survivors will stay with an innocent looking survivor only to change last second into one of the toxic female survivors like Nia, Claudette or Nancy with the brightest, most tryhardy skins possible and a fully kitted flashlight with a Batham or RV of Crows offering. They will chase you like moths to a bright lamp trying to save every single survivor in the match with their flashlights. They will teabag at every single opportunity. They are still mad at BHVR for removing the flashlight click spam, claiming on Twitter that this is completely nerfed flashlights and they should bring it back, and also for some reason they really love to play against hillbillies that use their chainsaw or stealth killers like Sadako, and they will instantly DC the moment they hear a nurse, blight, spirit or artist at the start of the match. The Sabo Survivor. The Sabo survivors are a species in danger of extinction who in the past absolutely terrorized every single killer match back when hooks didn't spawn back after being broken. Now, with the Sabo Jake species being so rare to the point scholars are debating if they still exist nowadays, the only types left are the Sabo Aces and Sabo Yuis with Breakout, a more refined and evolved species of Sabo survivors, not to be confused with the next type of survivors. The Bully Squad. These survivors hunt in packs, with each one in the tribe with a designated task. The Alpha is the designated chaser, with the objective to distract the killer for as long as possible. They will achieve this by dressing in the most neon ridiculous bright cosmetics possible and flash the killers like a dancing peacock in a mating season. This is all done so the gen jockeys of the pack can gen rush the generators with brand new parts and cracked toolboxes in order to guarantee an easy game and easy escape. The final member of the Bully Squad is the Scout, with the mission to guarantee the safety of every single survivor in the group by attempting every pallet save or heal others, and also bring a Styptic agent medkit. However, their demise is the fact that they are extremely altruistic and will do anything they can in order to save every single member of the pack. For that reason, if you stay longer than 2 seconds after hooking a survivor, they will call you a tunneling, camper, baby killer in the endgame chat no matter what. The Competitive Squad. These survivors are an evolved version of the Bully Squad, but now instead of playing for their own personal enjoyment, they play to continue increasing their skill level to points that no human can even comprehend. These survivors will have over 10,000 hours combined, and they probably won various DBD tournaments according to their Steam profiles. At least one of them will be using Ace due to the in-game advantage he has. If you for some miracle end up getting one survivor, they will make sure to die in a comp corner so you can't reach any hook. They have documents with every single map divided into coordinates so they can give exact callouts that even professional SWAT teams cannot match. And it doesn't matter if it's a pub game, they will be playing like money is on the line because they forgot how to play the game casually. The real Survive with Friends. Not to be confused with their sweaty variants, the real Survive with Friends are groups of 3 or more survivor friends that just want to have a fun time. They don't care about winning as much as simply having fun or memeing with the killers, and some of them will be playing while drunk, making them even more oblivious than a solo survivor would be, and they don't give pinpoint callouts most of the time. They either have basic builds or they all have a plan together, like a full no-meter squad, a Sabo squad, or just trolling in some way. But no matter what, they at least have fun playing the game, and they are the least miserable survivors in this entire video. The Youtuber Wannabe. These survivors are the most predictable survivors in the entire game. They will dress up exactly as the YouTuber they are trying to emulate, like the yellow durag for GRM, the Probs Fengmin outfit, or the Prestige 3 Nia with the discount Dia Hype shirt, so they can look as close as possible to Noob 3. They will make the exact same content that stopped being popular years ago with less than 500 views per video, and they will try to do weird techs every single match, but if they fail their CJ tech, their FOV tech, their dumb tech, or their Gorbachev Willy Wonka tech, they will immediately DC. Also, anytime they play killer, it's either the nurse, the blight, or the huntress. The Offline TTV. The Twitch counterpart of the YouTuber wannabes, the Offline TTVs are survivor players that try to have their own personality with names like Dark Hunter 87 or Dead by Sweats, and if they are a woman, they will make sure their gamer tag will let you know. However, when you try to check their stream to say hi, follow them, or simply to check the VODs to see how you performed, you will find that they are offline and haven't streamed for months. The Fashionista. For these players, surviving is not the main objective of the game. It's not getting blood points either. Their only objective is to look good. These survivors will dress up with very nice looking combos of cosmetics you didn't even know exist. They don't care if they win or lose. They don't care what perks they use. The only thing they care about is how good the new cosmetics are and what combos they can make with the new pieces. These survivors single-handedly maintain the economy of behavior with their Auric Cell purchases. The Thirsty Survivors. The thirsty players do not care about survivor or block points either, just like the Fashionistas. Instead, all they want to do is constantly look at the naked torso of Vittorio or David King while they demand behavior to add shirtless Felix too. They are the reason for Vittorio's extreme popularity nowadays. The Altruist. For some, the best types of players in the game. These survivors are ready to give their life as long as you can escape the trial. They will bring builds entirely focused on healing and making sure the rest survives for as long as they can. They will always go for the save when it's safe to do so, and they will always be there when you are injured. Some people call them their guardian angel. The Survivialist. The complete opposite of the Altruist, these survivors only care for themselves. They will not 99% the gate, instead they will open it instantly so they can escape and waste no time. They will never go for the save unless it benefits them directly with blood points or an archives mission, as they would rather do gens fast as possible to get out. They do not enjoy chases and will try everything they can to lead the killer against their teammates so the killer leaves them alone. They will waste pallets only to prolong their own safety, no matter how good the pallet is. The completely useless bills. No matter how high your MMR is, you will encounter at least one useless bill every playing session. These bills do absolutely nothing. Instead, they will always try to hide from the killers as long as they hear the terror radius. They will always try to body block despite the killer end up hooking them anyways, and some daring builds will even bring a brown toolbox so they can miserably fail the sabotage. The Megheads. Possibly one of the most infuriating types of players in the games, the Megheads apparently thrive on making the other survivors suffer. They will save their sprint burst the entire match, no matter if you are about to reach stage 2 on the hook. The only moment a Meghead will use her sprint burst is to escape from the generator after exploding it in your face. They don't know what quiet means. They will fast vault every single window and pallet they can find, and they will hide behind obvious spots. The higher the generator progress, the higher the chances of a Meghead missing a skill check. The Inmersed Blendette. These survivors are a relic from the past. They will use the darkest cosmetics possible for their clothes, or they will keep her default appearance, and their favorite activity is to crouch all over the map borders or heal in the corners for 40 seconds with self-care while Thanatophobia is active. If you dare to confront them and ask what they were doing the entire match, they will say that they were doing generators. The Prestige 100. These survivors are some of the most ruthless survivors in the game, or completely below average, which is surprising considering the time investment they put in the game to prestige their favorite survivor to the max. The more uncommon the survivor is, the stronger they are, so Prestige 100 Yoichis, Detective Taps, or Quentins are some of the most dangerous breeds in the survivor world. The worst part for these survivors, no matter their actual in-game experience, is how many killers will dodge their Qs because of them, so some have to resort into last-minute swapping just so they can play. The Booner. For these survivors, their absolute biggest priority is to make sure at least one boon is active in the map. They have never removed Circle of Healing from their build since they bought Michaela, and they do not feel comfortable until they'll have booned a totem. These are the types of players that waste 30 seconds booning their plaything Hes totem instead of breaking it, because they would rather die than break a boon. For some magical reason, you will never encounter a Booner survivor if you are using Shattered Hope, as behavior programmed the perk to make sure you are not matched with any survivor that uses boons. The Totem Cleanser. These survivors are sworn enemies of the Booners, and they will fight teeth and bone for the totem priority. These survivors will either use small game, counter force, or their favorite, inner healing, and they will not touch a single generator until they broke at least one totem. They will break hex totems no matter if they are glowing and playing against a default spirit with no hexes besides haunted grounds, and they will camp the boon totems so they can break them when the killer cleanses the boon. Their motto is, if it glows, it goes. The Stretched Rez. They will find third-party programs only to be able to play in the most disgusting, bad-looking Stretched Rez possible with the lowest settings besides shadows, so they get every single advantage they can. They have the loudest mechanical keyboards in the market, and they will play the most generic rap beat possible while recording with their Discord friends how they juke baby raids that just started to play the game yesterday. The Killer Main that has to complete Survivor Rift missions. These are the most miserable survivors in the game. They are not having any fun while playing. All they want to do is complete their archives as fast as possible, do gens, and leave so they can go back at playing killer. They are the survivors that you see opening chests or breaking totems, and they will not do anything that will endanger their mission. They don't care if they die, as long as their mission is complete day one. The Plunderers. These survivors will have Plunder's Instinct, Appraisal, and Ace in the hole so they can get the best items possible from the chests and share them with the rest of the survivors. They have a massive inventory of items on their characters, and the collection just keeps growing. Since they have so many items, they will always try to gift an item to the killers in hopes that they leave them escape. They have a higher rush getting a good item with good add-ons from a chest than from escaping. The Tricksters. Not to be confused with the killer, the Tricksters will try to deceive the killers with their mischievous tactics like using the pebble, using deception, or by escaping with quick and quiet and dance with me. There is a very rare species of Tricksters that use Lucky Break or Bite the Bullet so they completely disappear from the map, and these survivors are low-key some of the strongest and most confusing survivors in the entire game. Lastly, there is a crossbreed of Booners and Tricksters that use Shadow Step with indoor map offerings, making the lives of killers absolute hell. The Memers. These survivors will do anything they can in order to get value from whatever random meme build they wanted to try that day, like Metal of Man, Autodidact, or Red Herring. Luckily, even if they do not get value, they still have a lot of fun regardless, and they will use Ace or Ash Williams for the extra meme points. The Bombardiers. These survivors' only goal in life is to completely burn the retinas of the killers by stunning them with blast mine or flashbanging them at any chance they get. Nothing brings them more joy than hearing the nuke sound whenever the killer destroys their trapped generator. Their favorite chapter is the Resident Evil one, and they instantly bought Jill and Leon just for their perks. They will try any gimmick with flashbangs like stunning the killers with head-on or other techs like that. The Sandbaggers. The worst type of survivors in the game by far. These idiots just want to ruin your day by trapping you in some corner or one-way hallway until the AFK crows start flying over you. They will also snitch your location when you hide inside a locker, and they will also sell you any chance they get. Normally, some killers will take pity on the victim and go for the Sandbaggers, but there are some killers that will take advantage of it and kill the victim. The BP Hoarder. These players are past killer mains that simply became survivors players due to the incentives. Their maximum priority is to get as much blood points as possible per minute. They have optimized builds in order to get a lot of BP fast. They will always unhook, get chased, stun, and do gens in order to max out all their categories, and they will always bring a blood point offering to the match, so their blood point gain is doubled. If the incentive falls below 100% for survivors, they completely stop playing until it comes back. Low-key, these survivors are some of the best in the game. The Achievement Hunters. These survivors will be trying to get the Adept achievement for every single character in the game so they can boast it in their Steam profile or so they can get the Platinum achievement. The only problem these survivors have is the achievement called Outbreak Breakout, which they are still trying to unlock to this day due to how annoying it is. The Wildcard. For killers, these types of survivors are the most dangerous. They will look very generic, with either the default cosmetics or a rift outfit at most. They also don't have a very high prestige either way. In one match, they might be the weakest weakling you have ever seen in your years playing this game, missing every single skill check or going down extremely fast by getting stuck in rubble after a hit. But in other games, these survivors are straight up gods that will have 5 gen chases, save every single survivor twice, and do all gens single-handedly. The Survivor Main. Will preach that the nurse is balanced, favorite map is Dead Dog Saloon or Midwich, will never get mad if they are camped, in fact will always say that it is deserved and will always take pity on killers. They think that generators are being done way too fast, and they say that the Dead Hard nerf was not enough and it deserves to be nerfed even more. What type of survivor player are you? Let me know in the comments and let me know if I missed one of them. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.